Hey, what's up? GW back again. Listen, I'm not going to do a movie review, but what I am going to do is I'm going to tell you guys about one of the biggest things to hit the streaming service. You guessed it, Disney Plus. And I wanted to share some thoughts about it. Now, obviously, I could turn on the TV and show you guys, but Disney would probably sue me for millions because they're buying everything. They need money. Well, they don't need money, but they're buying everything. So, here's my thoughts on Disney as a company and as a streaming service. When I was growing up, everybody watched Disney movies. I can remember Davy Crockett. My grandma bought it on a VHS. It was one of those big ones, real thick case. I also remember she bought me 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the Jules Verne deal. Both of those movies are on Disney Plus, and they are going to strike a chord with me. Of course, back then when things were shot, obviously they appealed to a different audience, and so on and so forth. So, fast forward a little bit to the mid 80s. Wide World of Disney come on. It came on Sunday nights. And I remember because Michael Eisner used to host it. And what I remember from that time period is they showed things like Flight of the Navigator, which is a rare movie on DVD. It's probably widespread now, but it was rare back in the day. Mr. Boogedy, Bride of Boogedy, Revenge of Mr. Boogedy, and Fuzz Bucket. How many people watching my shows can even remember Fuzz Bucket? It was a 1985 or 86 deal, and it was on The Wonderful World of Disney. So, they cornered the market. Then they got smart and they released all kinds of movies, and it just became a wildfire. Then, in the mid-90s, one of my favorite rap groups, Insane Clown Posse, was signed to Disney. I was a big fan of them. I still am. And here's where the problem lies. Disney actually bought them and then kicked them out. And then there was some contract disputes, whatever. So fast forward a little bit till Disney releases The Little Mermaid. On the cover of that VHS, if you bought one of the first copies, you saw something in the castle on the front of the cover that was not meant to be seen. Disney has then taken a stance on everything, and now it's a global conglomerate company, and it's buying everything. And when it bought Star Wars, I was skeptical. I was on the fence, much like most of you guys. And I didn't know what they'd do to Star Wars, considering my man George Lucas was not at the helm, but you could see why he got rid of that franchise. He'd be 90 years old writing a Star Wars movie. But in any event, The Force Awakens was pretty good. That was actually a decent movie. I'll give him credit. Then came The Last Jedi. Even Rogue One. I'll vouch for Rogue One. I like Rogue One because it told the story and it didn't have anything to do with Luke Skywalker. It was all about the rebels giving the plans to Princess Leia to blow up the Death Star. Case closed. Easy movie to make, right? Well, they did it right, guys. I can't say a bad thing about that. However, in The Last Jedi, many reviews back, I trashed that film and I said, you know what? If this is the direction Disney's going to go with this, then I'm not paying anything. So, like many of you, I was skeptical to see how that movie, The Mandalorian, or that show, The Mandalorian, would play out. And I gotta tell you, people are on the fence about it. I really enjoyed the tale of a bounty hunter going all across the galaxy to capture criminals and, prisoners and what have you. And I liked it because it was different. It didn't have Luke Skywalker in it. Luke Skywalker was never referenced. Neither was any of the other characters. This was a standalone deal. And when I saw it was directed by Jon Favreau, the same cat that did Iron Man, which is now employed by Disney, and Disney, by the way, had bought all Marvel stuff, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. I was very intrigued. So like many of you, when it launched earlier this week, I got it. I got it for me for Star Wars and Marvel. because I've only seen a handful of Marvel movies. I don't have time to go scour the earth for DVDs of Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and all 22 other movies you gotta watch in continuum to watch Avengers Endgame. But, thank God for Disney. So we purchased this thing, and we were smart enough not to do it. We pre-ordered it, which was really cool. I had never seen a streaming service pre-order anything, which was really awesome. So we went ahead and pre-ordered Disney Plus. We were at work, so I figured, you know what, it launches, we'll come back after work, check it out, right? And the first thing I turn on the news and I see, Disney Plus has glitches, 10 million subscribers, this, that, and the other thing. Well, people were having login issues because they couldn't get in, because when 5,000 to 10,000 people crash servers, you're not going to have instant connectivity. Just not going to happen. So we came home, and surprisingly, Disney Plus has been amazing, to say the least. Even though that Last Jedi DVD and movie turned me completely against Star Wars and against the direction the company was going with it. But when I watched The Mandalorian, guys, I liked it because it was dark. The ending of it, if you haven't seen it, is amazing, and it's going to throw you for a loop. I am really interested to see where they take the story. That aside, enough Star Wars talk. I actually put on the Star Wars shirt, to promote this thing. So, fast forward a little bit. As I'm sitting there playing with it prior to watching The Mandalorian, my wife, and by the way that it's shot looks just like a movie. And that was really cool. It wasn't some cheesy, stupid spin-off series. It was actually done very well, and it's a little dark and mysterious. And I think fans of the Star Wars universe, if they give it a chance and watch it, it's going to come out great. And like I said, helmed by my man Jon Favreau, who has 3 Iron Mans under his belt, and maybe some more cameo appearances in other Marvel movies. Regardless. So we turn on Disney Plus. We get it going, put in the activation code, the whole 9 yards. And we find out that there is a lot of content on there. And what you find is movies that have been really digitally recreated, that are flawless. You find everything from Old Yeller, back in the days, to a live-action Lady and the Tramp, solely for Disney. Now, here's my thing, and if Disney executives turn this on or find this or whatever they do, here's what I'm saying. You keep up this level of entertainment, that little mark that I had for you guys when you guys dissed Insane Clown Posse is going to go away. Regardless, we found all kinds of movies. We also found cartoons we never even realized were on there. DuckTales. Who remembers DuckTales back in the 80s? Hannah Montana. Well, Miley Cyrus before she got big. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, all these cartoons that you have watched when you were a kid growing up are now there. Boy Meets World. Pretty cool. Then we find out Disney is buying Hulu. We have a Hulu subscription. We have an ESPN Plus subscription too. They're buying all that. You can bundle it up, save 25%. Now, how cool is that? The one thing that I like about the bundle is that you could go to Disney Plus for Star Wars, Marvel, and kid movies, right? Anything to a PG-13. You jump to Hulu, you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, something that probably isn't appropriate for everybody, but you watch it, you like it, and it appeals to the adult in you. Then if you want to watch a sporting event, hey, flick it over to ESPN Plus, watch Nate Diaz on UFC. That's how you do it. Regardless, what I'm trying to say here is that when you see how much content it is, and they're already doing comparisons all over the net about who's better, Disney Plus or Netflix, the fact is Disney Plus just started. Netflix has been around for years. Give Disney a chance, because the inner kid in me came out. I watched The Mandalorian. I was 5 years old back when I was watching it, and it made me feel like that. My wife gets on there. She puts a whole list together on her watch list. And they even have hard-to-find movies on DVD. She found that movie Newsies on there, okay? Which, if you guys don't know what that is, that's a movie about the paper boys and the strike when FDR was president. And guess who's in it, guys? Christian Bale. I know that. It's a musical. You can probably find the musical. whatever. Regardless, my thoughts on Disney Plus is that, you know, it appeals to everybody. You have the action movies for the Marvel crowd, right? You have Star Wars, right? And you have kid favorites, which I'm telling you. And the one thing that cracks me up is like we were looking up, you know, Davy Crockett when I added it to my playlist because I grew up on that show. Davy Crockett and Jim Bowie defending the Alamo. I watched that thing time and time again. And you know what? I hope they don't change it. There's a fight scene with an Indian. The Indians name something in the movie, and I really hope they don't change it. But as you're looking at these, it'll say, warning, contains tobacco use. To me, that's funny. You know what I mean? It's almost like the rating system for kids' movies, which is really cool. On that note, I suggest you try Disney Plus out and explore. Because once you turn it on, you know, those ads are right. You're never going to leave the bedroom. Especially if you bundle it, forget it. But definitely give it a whirl. I also heard if you're a Marvel fan, you're going to dig this. They are making a Wolverine live-action TV show. Strictly for Disney Plus. I'm kind of intrigued. Guys. So, I just wanted to, you know, take a minute and let you guys know about that. It really is pretty awesome, and really once you get into it and you start seeing what it all is. And the other cool thing, guys, I'm going to tell you something right now. The other cool thing, like yesterday I come home and I was just like, hey, you know, let's check out Captain Marvel. When you go to the movies, unlike Netflix, you select Captain Marvel, right? It has description, extras, which is really cool because then you can get on to the extras and it has like deleted scenes, trailer, and that's pretty cool. I have never seen a streaming service offer that. So it's almost like you don't even have to buy the DVD or Blu-ray. You know? The other thing about the Marvel movies, real quick, because I know some people are going to get ticked off. Let's just say you want to watch Spider-Man Far From Home on there. Guess what? It's not going to be on there. Why? Because at the time they came up with this, deals were signed for movies to be shown on other platforms, not Disney Plus. My wife looked up Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey, which is on something, part 2. It's not going to be available till December 2020 because the agreement to show that movie, right, prohibits Disney Plus from showing it. Now, Spider-Man, in the case, until a new deal is struck, individual Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, or whatever, are not going to be on the Marvel Universe. However, in an Avengers movie, since that deal was struck, you will see Spider-Man in the Avengers. They are not going to digitize anything out. And one other comment I got to say, because I saw this last night, and it just made me go, are we still talking about this? If you saw Star Wars back in 77, there was a debate from 77 all the way up until now. Who shot first? Han, Greedo? Did Greedo shoot? Did Han shoot? Who shot first, right? Well, one of the people that got Disney Plus decided to watch Star Wars on there, and I'm sure you can look this up. In fact, you know, feel free, look this up. Tell me that I'm crazy. They changed it again. First, in the 77 movie, Han shot first. Done deal. They recreated it. They enhanced it. Greedo shot, missed. Han shot, killed, right? Killed Greedo. End of story. That wasn't good enough. George Lucas came up with an idea that just resurfaced, and it's on here, but it's not in the correct format. He came up with a 3D version of the film that was never made, guys. I remember hearing about this, and I was like anxious. And I think they only released one of the new ones with Ewan McGregor, and I think you had to buy a Panasonic TV, and I think it was the first movie. First or second movie, they released 3D only if you bought a Panasonic DVD player 3D. Because I looked for it, and you can't find it anywhere. It was a bundled up, and it was for a limited time, and those DVDs are gone. However, George Lucas was going to re-release Star Wars in 3D. When he did that, the hand who shot first, Han or Greedo scene, completely takes a, what I would call, semi-ridiculous turn because no one knows who did what. Obviously, Han still survives, but you don't know what happened. So I encourage you guys to look that up. And this debate hopefully is closed because it has been referenced so many times in pop culture. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because it has been rehashed. And I think the fact that Greedo's dead in the series and Han Solo still lives, we have a definitive answer. But you can tell I'm a little passionate about Star Wars. I got a little carried away. But regardless, the other cool thing about Disney Plus is they have Ultra HD and they have their movies in 4K. George Lucas or Disney representatives have said to basically about Star Wars and other movies too that the only way that you will find them on 4K is through Disney Plus, which is pretty neat. So, Star Wars pandering aside, I think Disney Plus is going to appeal to a wide range of people. And you know what? If you're on the fence about it, get the bundle and enjoy. And take a trip back to your childhood. Because sometimes, with all the crap we do, we go to work, we do whatever, there are movies that hit home with us. Like for me, it was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It was, with Kirk Douglas. It was Davy Crockett with Fess Parker, and it was, all these other movies that I grew up on. Flight of the Navigator, Mary Poppins for some, Lady and the Tramp. They take you back memory lane. Now, they might not be politically correct at this point, but they're not just movies, guys. Disney had a thing where they would make movies as an art form. So, my thoughts on Disney Plus, I didn't like the idea first, and when I saw what it was pretty awesome. And I hope it's around for a very long time. And I hope we get to see more episodes of The Mandalorian. I also hope that they start Oh, by the way, guys, they also bought National Geographic. So if you're a nature lover, get on there and check out some of the stuff. They got a show with Jeff Goldblum. It's pretty awesome. Check it out. But, I really hope that they keep incorporating, things into this. And they keep the price level the same. By the way, they got all 30 seasons of The Simpsons on, or whatever it's on. So that's pretty awesome of them too. My thoughts on Disney Plus? It rocks.